Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark with Georgetown.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? I got an old friend. Hang on. Yeah, that's a really good, satisfying cup of coffee from Trader Joe's. Joe. This is a terrific coffee, medium roast, 100% Arabica ground coffee, an exceptionally smooth cup of coffee. Really do like it. And the reason why we're using Trader Joe's is we're kind of celebrating the fact that a new location opened a little nearer to my home base over in Mentor, Ohio. So I'm going to save about 15 minutes in commute time to get to a new Trader Joe's. So that's kind of neat. So looking forward to visiting them up there. I've been watching them build it over the past few months. And yeah, my brother called and said, yeah, they're finally open. So I'm really looking forward to visiting them and getting some more Trader Joe's coffee and some of the other great items that I like a lot. Hey, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. If you're taking me on your morning commute, thanks very much for the lift. I really do appreciate it. I'm using my Nerd Dogs coffee mug. I love this coffee mug. I really do. I absolutely love the Nerd Dogs coffee mug. And we're going to get kind of nerdy on some of the wet shaving topics today. I did some deep diving into a few topics. Really looking forward to sharing that with you. So yeah, got some great content, got some great stuff planned. So without further ado, let's kick it off like we do every week with a morning shaving tip. This morning's shaving tip comes all the way from Sweden from viewer Bjorn Stegler. Thank you very much, Bjorn. Really do appreciate it. And he writes, "Hi, Mark. Yesterday, I had my first shave with an open comb razor, a Parker 69 CR. I really liked it, but I got some irritation on the neck after the shave. I got an idea and applied some Aquaphor on the rash, and it feels much better today. It's not all gone, but much better. On Amazon, it's called Aquaphor Healing Ointment." Thanks for your great videos. Bjorn Stegler from Sweden. Hey, Bjorn, thanks very much for passing that along. I'm sure it's a your mileage may vary kind of product, but if it helps in healing and reducing some inflammation and irritation after a shave, all the better, which is why I want to pass it on to viewers. And it also is kind of an introduction for something I'm going to be talking about a little later regarding irritation and how I went about in solving that problem. We'll be talking about that in new shaving gear. But thanks very much for that, Bjorn. Really do appreciate that. I will link that product below to Amazon if you're interested in picking it up or investigating it. I haven't tried it myself. Obviously, it's a your mileage may vary kind of thing, but again, another great option if you're looking to reduce irritation, post-shave irritation, that kind of thing. Yeah, really, really nice to have another tool in the tool belt is what I'm saying. So Bjorn, to say thank you for you and only you, an original signed George sketch. So please email me your snail mail address at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. And if you out there would also like an original George sketch like Bjorn is going to be getting, all you have to do is email me a shaving tip. And email me at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use it in the morning shaving tip, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So thanks again for the tip, Bjorn. Really do appreciate it. Okay, this morning we have an additional shaving tip. This comes from viewer Simon Hazanov. And he writes, "Hey Mark, I just watched a video and came across a neat tip at around the 7-minute 45-second mark. How to transport a blade in a razor during travel, provided you have a suitable 3-piece razor. Thought I'd share it with you. Nice trick, isn't it? I will link the video below right there in the area where that is being demonstrated. But I'm going to demonstrate it to you right here, right now with my Parker 56R. And the tip involves a standard 3-piece razor of this kind of configuration. So all you're doing is you're undoing the handle here. Let me get rid of the buffer ring. I'm going to take the buffer ring and set it aside. We're not going to need that. Okay, so all you're doing here is you're going to be flipping the base plate like that, and then setting the blade in the cap, and then setting the base plate back on top of it. So let me get my blade here, and I got my blade right here. I'm using the I'm using the America razor with the magnet to help me with this. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so I've placed the blade in the cap. I've got the base plate flipped upside down. Now I'm putting it on there like that, and I'm going to take the handle and I'm going to screw it back in, and just give it a little snug like that, not too much. And there you go. Look at that. The blade is flat. It's flat on that base plate there. See that? And you can't, look at that. See? So if you're going to reach in, if you put this in your DOP kit this way like this, and you reach in, you're not going to cut, chances are you won't cut yourself. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to have to snug this up because I just now, I caught a little bit of the edge there. But I think if you snug it up a little bit and keep it really, really flat and secure, it's probably going to work. But anyhow, it seems to me that if you also have a shaving case, a razor case that you can place this in, with a guard that flips over, it's double protection. That's probably what I would do if I were going to keep the blade in the razor. So not a bad tip at all. Again, this works on standard 3-piece razors of this configuration, like an Edwin Jagger and Mueller and Parker, that sort of thing. And you can see that the base plate is upside down, and it keeps that blade from being exposed too much or overly exposed. And again, I'm just rubbing here a little bit, and I can feel just ever so slightly, but I think it would work. I think it would be okay. It's pretty slick tip. So again, you might want to check it out. Your mileage may vary. I think it's a really pretty useful tip. Myself, if I'm taking a razor, I'm not leaving the blade in the razor. That's just me. But if for some reason you find yourself you have to, this might be a very, very good solution for you. Again, I'll link the video below and right at that moment where that gentleman demonstrates this particular tip. So thank you very much, Simon, for that. Really, really do appreciate it. Okay, from time to time on this channel, I mention some charitable organizations that viewers perhaps would like to lend their support to. I've talked about St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, Believe in Dreams. Well, this is one called the Danny Parmertor Memorial Fund. These are my neighbors. They live right across the street, cat a corner from me. And they set this up in memory of their late son. Let me read the mission statement to you. Our mission. Danny Parmertor's life was cut short at the age of 16 on February 27, 2012, as a result of the Chardon High School shooting tragedy in Chardon, Ohio. Danny will always be remembered for his love of life, quick wit, and his ability to light up a room with his infectious smile. Danny's family established the Danny Parmertor Memorial Fund to commemorate Danny's life and to assure that his memory lives on forever. The primary mission of the Danny Parmertor Memorial Fund is to provide a scholarship in Danny's memory for students from Chardon High School and/or Auburn Career Center who are interested in pursuing a computer-related profession. The Memorial Fund also supports other worthy causes that are representative of those that Danny enjoyed during his life. The Danny Parmertor Memorial Fund asks for your generous support to permit us to keep Danny's memory alive by helping those in need. Thank you. So I would ask you that, perhaps consider a donation. Wonderful family, and they have set up a really worthy memorial fund in memory of their son. They also have a fundraising dinner and reverse raffle and that sort of thing once a year. That's coming up pretty soon too. And I'll just direct you to the website and just let you know that it's there. And if you are looking for another charitable organization to donate to, please consider the Danny Parmertor Memorial Fund. Hey, thanks very much. Well, we are off to a great start. I'm telling you, we got a lot of content. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. And you know what? Let's all go back. I mean, let's just cut right to the chase. Let's all go back for a refill. Okay, got a few topics here in this morning's refill. Let's kick it off with something from viewer Ron Wright. And he writes, hey, congratulations on the 7,000 milestone. Yeah, before we go any further, we're doing a giveaway. It was just announced this past Saturday. Got a great prize package. So make sure that you enter before the 26th of February. Enter before Saturday, February 26th, 2022. Got a really terrific prize package donated by Vikings Blade, viewer Mark Bagwell, and some other things that were set aside in my shaving den. Really, really terrific prize package. So please check out that video. I'll link it below also so you can enter. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel, that you leave a comment below that video, and you also have a valid address that Postal Services can deliver to. And that's it. So yeah, thank you very, very much, Ron, for your good wishes on that 7,000 milestone. I'm just so happy, and thanks again to all the viewers out there. Now, continuing with his comment, vintage versus new. I like both. I have two new ones. The PAA Dock Ascension Twist Stainless was a birthday purchase last year. My favorite razor. But I also have three vintage Gillettes that I really like too. I lucked into a great deal on two of them. The other had belonged to my wife's long-past dad. So there is a special connection for that one. And to me, that is the cool thing with any vintage shave item, the stories that belong to those items. Some you may never know. It's a great hobby. And yes, do your homework to know what to expect with a vintage. Good Monday morning mailbag. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Ron. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, there's that connection with vintage razors. I know, as I mentioned, I have my late father's vintage Super Speed from 1957. And I have what I believe to be my grandfather's Gillette old type. I'm assuming it was handed to my father, and my father used it and then got a Gillette Super Speed perhaps later on. That's kind of my guess, but I found that Gillette old type in my father's shaving gear, so the safe assumption is that it came from his father. That's my guess. But yeah, the stories those razors could tell, huh? Yeah, that really is a neat attraction to vintage razors. I absolutely agree, Ron. David Dart said, Mark, good morning. I love the PAA Cube. It works great for head shaves. I find with soaps, it really helps soaps of a lesser quality. With PAA soaps, I don't use the Cube. Cella, Parasso, etc. benefit from the Cube. Have a great week and stay safe. I use the Cube as often as I can. I love the Cube. I really do. I think it's just fantastic. And I know early on, if you check my channel out, early on, I really wasn't using it correctly. I was using it. It still is effective, but really the way you use it is you apply it, you work it in, then you rinse it off, because that kind of gets rid of the excess grease and oil and kind of preps the beard a little bit. Then you reapply it and work it in, and then that acts as a pre-shave, kind of giving you a good slick base on which to lather on top. But I agree with you, David. It really does plus up other shaving soaps that are out there. But I will use it with Phoenix Shaving Shave Soaps, Sterling, Tabak, Parasso, Cella. Yeah, I use it as often as I can. And there are times when I don't use it, and that's when I'm reviewing a brand new shave soap and just want to look at the performance of that shave soap alone. So then I'll omit any kind of pre-shave. But yeah, I like it a lot. I agree with you. The Cube really is a terrific to anyone's shaving den. And you know, the Cube is part of the prize package. So yeah, again, get over to that video, subscribe, and I'll leave a comment because the Cube 2.0 is part of the prize package. So thanks very much for that, David. Really do appreciate it. T-Man2217 says, I agree that it's a nice change of pace to use a bowl or a scuttle now and then, and keeping the soap dry has its perks. Face lathering is part of the process as far as I'm concerned. It's just something I like to do, especially with a nice, soft, and luxurious brush like the Amber Aerolite. Might have to do both for a while and see how that goes. My only issue with the PAA Scuttles is how do you dry them out completely? Just turn them over on a towel and let gravity do the work? Wouldn't want any water to get stuck in there and start to stink. Would be a shame. So yeah, you know, this is what I was doing. Here's my my brand new Dreamscape shaving scuttle from Phoenix Shaving right here. It's got a real cork like this. And what I initially was doing in cleaning this out was I was taking the cork out, and then I was dumping out the water, and then drying it out, and then folding that towel once or twice on the counter and on the lip of the sink, and then setting this upside down so that the spout had some air to get up underneath, and maybe some excess water would drain out of that sort of thing, but air would still get up in there. And that's what I was doing. And I was also doing that, hang on 1 minute. This is also a similar practice that I was doing with the travel scuttle right here. Again, I was drying this off, and then just turning it upside down like this on a towel, and then letting this dry out. Now with the travel scuttle, it's a little easier because this is impact resistant, and you can kind of you can drop this. It doesn't matter. This is ABS. This is fantastic. With the Dreamscape scuttle, you have to be a little more careful. Since doing this several times, I am now just making sure, getting a firm grasp of it and making sure that the water is out of there. And then I'm just turning it over. I'm taking the cork. I'm drying out the bowl, inner bowl here. I'm taking the cork. I'm setting it in there like that. Okay. And then I'm just setting it on the counter and letting the air flow through there. I'm also thinking, and let me put this out to viewers. I'm also thinking that perhaps if you wanted to, you could put a few drops of rubbing alcohol in there, and then just kind of swish it around, and that'll evaporate and get rid of some of the excess water. That might work too. That's what I'm thinking. But so far, just doing it that way, things seem to be drying out. As long as you have that air circulating in there, I think it's going to be okay. But yeah, I am a face latherer too, as you know, and I love to face lather, and I love using the Phoenix Shaving brush scuttle. It's one of my favorite things, but I have to tell you, this has been wonderful. This has been developing some wonderful warm lathers. I like the fact that I can set it on the counter, grab a hold of it, set it on the counter like this, get it firm, and just whip up my lather like that, and then paint it on. It's a nice change of pace. I like it. Am I going to change my shaving routine and just use a scuttle all the time and not do as much face lathering? I don't know. Time will tell. It depends. It depends. Now, some of my reviews, I will probably continue to do face lathering only because it's on camera. You can see me on camera. When I have this, I can't really hold it in front of me to build a lather and to show you the action of the soap, because there is a lot of weight there. This really is a generous size. It holds 18 ounces of water. It's a 5-inch opening here and a 3-inch depth. You really should just set it on a counter and grab hold of that handle and then just whip your lather up that way. It works wonderfully well that way. Now, the travel scuttle is different because when you put the water in there, it's still very lightweight. It's not as large, so you can hold it in your hand or by the handle. You can hold it this way or however you want to handle it, and whip a lather up like that. And this is a little easier for me to use on camera if I wanted to do a bowl lather or a scuttle lather and show it on camera, I would probably do this. I would probably use this, or I would use the new lather lid. We're going to talk about this as well. The lather lid, it arrived. Doug and Fran very kindly sent one for me to review, and I've been using it, and it's terrific. So that's kind of where I'm at with face lathering and scuttle lathering, bowl lathering, that sort of thing. And regarding cleaning them out, I haven't seen any problem with water being trapped in there or developing any kind of odor or anything like that. I was turning them upside down, but now I just set them on the counter, keep the cork out, and let it air dry that way. I'll put it to the viewers. Do you have any tips or tricks on how you keep your scuttles, that interior area there? If you have any tips or tricks on keeping that clean so it doesn't develop any odor or anything like that. From what I'm looking at, it's just water in, water out. It's hot water in and then hot water out. I don't know what could possibly go bad in there because it's just water. As long as I don't put the cork in there and just let that air get in there, I think it'll be fine. So that's kind of the long and short of that, T-Man 2217. Really appreciate the comment. Really appreciate the question, and I hope that answers it in some way, and I look forward to viewers commenting on this. Please let me know if you are an experienced Scuttle user and you have some tips or tricks on how to keep that interior area clean. Please comment below. Really look forward to reading those and sharing those with viewers. Thanks again. Okay, it's that time of the show when we get to check out some new shaving gear. Okay, yeah, let's look at some new shaving gear. By the way, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Boy, it's just great getting together with you, talking wet shaving, kicking back, enjoying some great coffee. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Well, let's get to some of this new shaving gear. Viewer Todd Hume writes, "Hi Mark, I've been using a Georgetown Pottery shaving scuttle mug for a couple of years and I have been happy with it. It is similar to PAA's Dreamscape Scuttle. It costs a little more than the PAA's, but it comes in several different colors. I use the regular size Scuttle G12. It also comes in a larger size, the G20. Here's a link to their product page." Well, thank you very much for sending along that link. And he says, "Feel free to use this in your Monday morning mailbag, refill, or wet shaving gear sections of your show. Thank you for your videos. I really like your Monday morning mailbag show. Best regards, Todd Hume." Thank you, Todd. Thank you very, very much for that. Yeah, great to see other options out there in shaving scuttles. Now, I have seen the Georgetown Pottery product page for some time now. I've been very, very interested in their shaving scuttles. They look wonderful. And I think the G20, I think it holds 20 ounces of water versus the 18 in the Dreamscape Scuttle. Now, I'm not sure what the inner bowl is like on the Georgetown Pottery. Looks like a very, very nice scuttle. The thing I like about the Dreamscape Scuttle is that these vents right here, these are raised, where in a lot of other scuttles, they're like indented. They're like channels. These are raised to help build lather. And they're also rounded so that it won't damage some more delicate shaving brushes, like say my silver tip badger brush that I received from Simon Hasenov's. Thank you very much again, Simon. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, so I have not yet used this in this shaving scuttle. I'm really looking forward to using it. I really am. Knowing that because the raised vents are rounded and don't have any sharp edges to them. They're nice and round, they're raised, they're smooth. It's not going to damage a delicate brush or a finer brush like this silver tip badger. So I am really looking forward to using this brush in this scuttle because silver tip badger brushes, as I have learned, different kind of process if you're doing a face lather. You want to kind of paint it on when you're doing a face lather with a silver tip, as some viewers have told me. You want to paint it on and really kind of work the lather up by painting it on, and then just use the very, very ends of the brush to start doing the swirling action to start really building the lather after you have the first step of lather built by painting. Then you can go into actually doing this kind of motion here, but you don't want to press the brush in because unlike a synthetic brush, this will kind of drive, that action will drive the lather towards the base of the knot, kind of eat the lather. So I'm looking forward to using this in the Dreamscape Scuttle, because then all I'll have to do is, just use this kind of motion to whip up the lather. It'll be there. It won't be forced into the knot. It'll just be working up the lather, and then I can paint it on. And I'm really excited. The more I talk about it, the more excited I get about wanting to use this brush with this scuttle. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I'm not sure what the configuration of that inner bowl is on the Georgetown Pottery scuttle. It looks like a wonderful scuttle. I'm really interested in comparing it to the Dreamscape Scuttle. The G12 looks like a nice size that can be held in the hand. A little more lightweight, a little smaller, a little more compact. I think that's a plus. But the G20, like the Dreamscape, it's going to probably have to be set on the counter and work up a ladder that way. Either way, these shaving scuttles are just absolutely wonderful. And just wanted to share Todd's email with everybody and let you know that there are other options out there. But you know what? For me, the Dreamscape has just absolutely been wonderful. Of course, I like Phoenix shaving gear. I guess, I am biased. I like their stuff. But nice to know that there are other options out there. If you want, let's say, a different color or a different pattern or a different configuration of the inner bowl. I don't know if the channels on a Georgetown Pottery bowl, again, are raised or if they're indented. I'm not sure. But I'd be interested in investigating that a little further. So thanks very much for that, Todd. Really, really do appreciate that. Oh, I need to tell you this. This is something that arrived a couple of weeks ago. Been meaning to talk about this from Spearhead Shaving, the Spearhead razor case. Check that out. I picked one of these up. This is simple, functional, and durable protection for safety razors. The Spearhead case is inspired by a 100-year-old design and upgraded with modern mil-spec materials. The case holds a 3-piece safety razor and razor blades for travel or storage. It is compact and lightweight for easy travel with durable construction designed to last a lifetime. The case is 100% designed and manufactured in the USA, which is why I purchased one. That was another reason why I purchased it. So let me show this to you. You open it up like this, and this design goes back to 1918, okay? And they have a little bit of information there regarding the case. But let me show you how it goes together, okay? I've got my Parker 3-piece razor here, and we're gonna put this in there real quickly just to show you how it works. Okay, so the handle, this is a 4-inch handle. This case can accommodate a maximum of a 4-inch handle. So the handle goes in there like that, okay? And you can take your cap and your base plate. Let me just set it in here like this. I'm gonna have to do it down here. I'm so sorry. Like this. Okay, I'll just show you. Get these bands, these elastic bands. Okay, so there is the cap. The cap and the base plate go in there like that. And then your blades. Now, this is a single pack of blades in a plastic tuck. So you have a slot in the back so you can dispose of the used blades. From what I understand, if I remember correctly, one of these or 2 5-packs of the cardboard razor blade tucks, paper razor blade tucks will fit. But I would prefer to use this because, you can dispose of used blades if you're traveling on the road, that sort of thing. So that goes in there like this. Let me just put that in there like that. Okay. And, okay, let's just get that in there. There it goes. Okay. Oops. Okay. So there it is. There it is. Everything is nice and snug in there. So all you do is close that flap, bring this up, and then bring that down and snap it together, and there you go. A three-piece razor with a 4-inch handle, nicely contained in here with razor blades. And that'll fit into any DOP kit right there. And it is rugged. It is really, really rugged. As they say here, the case is made from durable 500D Cordura nylon, the gold standard in wear resistance. It is resistant to abrasion, water damage, shrinking, and staining. The double-layer nylon fabric is die-cut for precision before being sewn together with heavy bonded thread. Each point of tension is reinforced for added strength. The Spearhead case is made in the USA, including the fabric, fasteners, and even the thread. Each case is carefully stitched by talented professionals who manufacture nylon cases for the U.S. military. Absolutely beautiful. The color of the case is foliage green, which is modern military gray olive green blend. And it goes on to say here, right here, the Spearhead case revives this 20th century design with 21st century materials. The shape, size, and contours closely match the original 1918 single snap khaki set, while the case has been upgraded to modern mil-spec materials. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Nice price point. I bought one when I bought the aftershave and some bar soap and that sort of thing. I threw it in my cart. Really, very, very nice. So if you have a three-piece razor, 4-inch handle or less, this will fit the bill, and great for travel, because we're going to be talking about travel and that sort of thing on this week's Monday Morning Mailbag. So I wanted to pass that on to you. That's really, really a terrific, terrific item from the folks at Spearhead Shaving. Okay, check this out. Viewer George Haven shared this email with me and also sent along some photos. And he wrote, "Good morning, Mark. All of the products shown are 3D printed. The lather bowls are designed by Roger Quintero. The plans are free to anyone to download. The item, lather bowl, contained in the plans can then be printed out using a 3D printer, well, a lather bowl or whatever else you got there. If you don't have access to a 3D printer, you can use a service like XYZ. XYZ or a similar service can then produce them through 3D printing for a fee. This can usually be done locally." Yeah, I know the Cleveland Public Library has 3D printers. So all you have to do is bring in your plans, bring in the material, the raw material, the plastic, resin, or however it is. I'm not really too familiar with it, but I do know that you can go to the Cleveland Public Library, just present your library card, have your plans, get on a 3D printer, bring in the raw material for it, load your plans, load your material, and then you can go ahead and make a lather bowl, a razor stand, a blade stand, any of these things. He says the blade boxes and Rockwell C holder came from a business on Etsy called 3D Shaving. Thanks and stay well, George Haven. So yeah, if you go up to Etsy, a lot of these other companies are already doing that. They're selling these 3D printed items, whether it be razor stands, blade boxes, this sort of thing. Really, really exciting. And as you know, I've placed an order for the Blackland Era razor, which is a 3D printed stainless steel razor. Now, this technology is really, really becoming so cutting edge, becoming so, Jetsons kind of space age. Really, really amazing, amazing stuff. So yeah, this is something that other viewers have mentioned to me about 3D printing. George very kindly sent along some photos. So thanks very much for that, George. Something I will definitely check out. And I will link to, if I can find XYZ, I'll link to them. And I'll also link to an Etsy category so you can kind of explore some of the 3D offerings that they have, 3D printed offerings that they have up there. Really, really exciting. That's why I say it's such an exciting time to be doing the traditional wet shave. There's so much out there, and they're also using this new cutting edge technology to make these new products and shaving gear available to wet shavers. Really, really amazing stuff. Beth Jones. Hi, Beth. Beth Jones checked in and said, hey, Mark, I just wanted to alert you to the new fragrance, Vanilla Orchid, that Cremo has added to their shave cream products. It's a wonderful fragrance and not just for lady wet shavers. I would also point out that Cremo works best with a DE safety razor. If used with a cartridge razor, it tends to clog the razor. Here's a link to Cremo's new shave cream, Vanilla Orchid. Thank you very, very much for that, Beth. I really do appreciate it. She says, thanks so much, Mark. Have a nice rest of the week. She also adds, sorry, Mark, here's another new Cremo product. Seems Cremo had actually added 2 new shave cream products to their lineup. Here's the second new shave cream, Heritage Collection Shave Cream. I have not used this fragrance, but it sounds like it would be wonderful. Catch up with you later, Beth Jones. Beth, thank you very much for both of those offerings from Cremo. As you know, a lot of wet shavers out there will use Cremo as a pre-shave. Some will just use it with a DE razor, as you've said. If for some reason their schedule doesn't permit them to do a little bit of bowl lathering or face lathering with a brush, etc., or just for a change of pace, that sort of thing. So if you have a vanilla scented shave soap and maybe perhaps are looking for a pre-shave or something to use as a pre-shave, well, Vanilla Orchid might very well fit the bill for you. That's kind of neat. Another fun aspect of the traditional wet shave is kind of mixing and matching a lot of these different products in different scents, trying to pair them up and that sort of thing, see if they complement one another. Yeah, that's terrific. So thank you very much for that, Beth. Really, really do appreciate it. Andy Schneider checks in. Now, Andy is a gentleman that builds these custom razor and brush stands. You may have seen them because we gave one away as the giveaway prize not so long ago. They're absolutely beautiful. And we were talking about whether or not he was going to be selling these to the viewing public. And he writes, hey, Mark, hope all is well with you. I wanted to get in touch with you again about my custom razor stands. As for the stand, I did some number crunching and figured after material, stain, finish, and labor, I'd put a solid $80 price tag on a custom razor stand. I'd again have you cover shipping charges, well, myself or anyone else who orders from him. Please feel free to share this info with others if they're interested in buying one. You can share my email with them. Well, I will do that. I will place Andy's email below in the description, and then you can get in contact with him directly and ask him about the razor and brush stands. I'm thinking about getting one from him because I have another area, another bathroom, and I'm going to have to take care of some overflow equipment. And they are beautiful and they are very functional, and I absolutely can vouch for it. I love the one that I have right now. I also had a question for the Monday morning mailbag. One of my favorite artisans is Soap Commander, and I'm curious if you've ever tried any of their products. Soap Commander Honor was one of my first soaps I got when venturing down the wet shaving rabbit hole, and it's still a favorite. I have nearly their entire core line with a few special edition soaps sprinkled in. Vision is one of my favorite soaps of all time. With so many new artisans these days, I sometimes feel they go a little unnoticed. A 6-ounce tub of soap runs you about $15. You just can't beat that price for the amount of soap you get. Lather's great, easy to build, scents are fantastic. I'm curious if you're familiar with them. Thanks, Mark. Andy. Yeah, Andy, I am. I used Honor soap. I reviewed it on the channel. I'll link that review below. Like you, early on, Soap Commander was one of those artisans I came across, and I don't have any in there. I just saved the container because I like the container so much. But yeah, I need to order the Honor soap again. I really did like this. This is their barbershop shaving soap right there. And yes, I agree. It lathers great. These are vegan soaps, so they're not tallow-based. Lathers great, nice performance. Yeah, definitely have to get this and a couple others. If you like Vision, I think I'm going to probably order Vision as well, and then hopefully review them again down the road. Time to update the reviews on Soap Commander. Yeah, I was really impressed. And again, I like the container so much I hung on to it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to review them again. I'm definitely going to put an order in and hopefully talk about, and not hopefully, I will plan on reviewing and using them down the road, kind of update the review of them. But yeah, I was very, very impressed with the shave soap. Liked it a lot. Liked the scent. Liked the performance. Yeah, I agree. Very, very good shaving soap. Soap Commander. And finally, Jim from Northfield checks in. He says, hey, Mark, look what I found at a Dollar Tree in my neck of the woods. It's a 3-piece DE safety razor. It's a clone of the Gillette 7 o'clock DE razor. The Gillette usually runs around $7 to $9. This was just $1.25. You can add this to your Monday morning mailbag for new shaving gear. Well, I just have, Jim. Thanks very much. If you can't locate it at your store, let me know. I'll send you one in the mail. Much sturdier construction than twist to open model. I hope you have a great weekend, Jim. Jim, for some reason, my Dollar Tree store usually lags behind yours. I don't know why, but I'll venture out and see if they have that. If they do, I'm going to pick it up and I will use and review. And I'll let you know. Thank you very much for your kind offer. I will let you know if I need to obtain one through you. But thanks very much for passing that along. Really, really do appreciate it. I'm kind of excited about that. Yeah, $1.25 for a 3-piece razor, very similar to the Gillette 7 o'clock DE razor. Yeah, I'm really kind of excited about that one. So thanks very much for passing that along, Jim. Really, really do appreciate it. And that's it for this week's new shaving gear. My thanks to Jim and Beth and Todd and Andy and let's see, who else? Everyone. Thanks to everyone. Spearhead Shaving, Todd, Beth, Andy, Jim. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Really do appreciate all the information that you forwarded and allowing me to share it with the viewers. Thanks again. Okay, before we leave new shaving gear, there's a couple of other items I wanted to talk about. I recently had a few shaves with the Gem Micromatic Clog Proof. I've talked about how great these razors are. They're the best kept secret in the traditional wet shave world because you can find them for $5 and $10. They're single edge razors, twist to open, and you can get some really, really close shaves with them. However, you gotta really adjust your technique because you're using this face here and you're not pressing it, but you're laying it against your face like this, and you're using this angle here to shave. Now, you don't want to go off angle like that because then things tend to drag and tug, and you might develop a little bit of irritation. So you really have to change your technique from a double-edged safety razor to this kind of razor. Now, in using this, I got some great shaves, but for one particular shave, I was coming across this way here, and you can probably see a little bit of irritation there. And I probably didn't keep this flat. I probably came off this way like this, which is what resulted in that irritation. The good news is in using the Phoenix Shaving shave soaps, it was wonderful. It didn't further aggravate anything like that. I got a lot of nice glide and protection from these shave soaps. So that was great. But how did I treat that irritation now, that Aquaphor product that was mentioned at the top of the show? Something I might look into, but there are a couple of things that I use that really, really helped heal this and speed recovery and that sort of thing. And I wanted to share those with you. The first one is something I haven't talked about a lot of, but I had this early on in my wet shaving journey, and it really helped me a great deal. It's called the Shavior. The Shavior. Right, yeah. You can buy this online. This is from the Grooming Lounge, and it really does a nice job of helping with razor burn, bump, and ingrown hairs. It serves as a remedy for that, and it really did help me early on. And I still have the original bottle here, and every once in a while when I get something like that, I'll apply that. And this has been really, really great. So I wanted to mention the Shavior to viewers. So if you're looking for something, especially if you suffer from ingrown hairs, if you're a cartridge, razor, shaver, and you suffer from ingrown hairs, check this out, because I think that helped a great deal in knocking down a lot of irritation and everything. But the other item that really, really helped a great deal comes from Phoenix Shaving. This was the Mysterium Serum. This has got some great, great skin food ingredients. I will link to that page because Douglas explains it far better than I can as to what the benefits of this are. What the benefits of the Mysterium Serum are. Terrific. Of course, it comes mentholated and non-mentholated. I bought both of them. And really, I've been using this, and it really came in handy to help this area right here. So check out the Shavior. That's a very good product. And the Mysterium Serum from Phoenix Shaving. Both of these really, really helped my irritation right there, and really helped me get me on the road to healing that up. And again, I would say that the Phoenix shaving soap really helped guard that and kept it from getting far worse. Really, I think the moisturizing and qualities and the skin food ingredients in this really also helped repairing that area. So just wanted to mention that to you. Okay, thanks very much. Okay, we're going to get to some questions and comments here. You know what? Before we really do, I want to make mention of something that Sheldon Cwinn posted on his blog. It's called The Amazing Story of the Gillette Fatboy. And he has a whole history of the Gillette Fatboy, the Gillette Slim, those kinds of things. Really interesting read. So I will link that below. And I just want to pass that on. So that's kind of something I wanted to share with you before we really get into the questions and comments. So check that out by Sheldon Cwinn, The Amazing Story of the Gillette Fatboy. Okay, now it's time to do that deep dive that I talked about at the top of the show. This concerns the Travel Scuttle, the Dreamscape Scuttle, and the Lather Lid. The Lather Lid is a new item from Phoenix Shaving. This is really neat. This is for travel. It is a lathering bowl that also doubles as a protective lid for your shave soap. So for instance, if you have Phoenix Shaving Coconut Bay with Lime, okay, what you do is you take off that lid, you leave that at home, and then you put on the lather lid like that. Okay, so now you can take your favorite shave soap, it's protected, and you also have a built-in lathering bowl. That is really a neat idea. And the nice thing is that not only does it fit the Phoenix Shaving containers, it also fits other containers as well, like say the Spearhead C4 Sea Spice Lime. It fits this container as well. Okay, there, right like that. So if you want to take that, fits that container. How about that, huh? If you have Sterling shave soap, this is Lemon Chill. Okay, it fits their Sterling containers. How about that, huh? Nice, huh? Yeah, a really neat idea. So what it does is it gives you another option when you're traveling if you want to conserve space, because if you're just going to take a single shave soap and a razor and blades and a brush, well, this will do it. This will do it for you. Just take your shave soap with your lather lid. Here we have my razor and my blades in this right here, and then we have a shaving brush like this, or even I could take this one will travel well, the solar flare. Okay, and that's it. That's all I need, and maybe a small container for the aftershave, matching aftershave for the Coconut Bay with Lime. And that's it. You can throw this in your DOP kit and really conserve some space. Now, the Travel Scuttle is really nice. I like it a lot, but it is a little larger. And of course, then you have to take along some soap and maybe take some tube soap or take along some sample soaps and that sort of thing. And that's fine. That's a great option too. There's nothing wrong with that. But the point is the lather lid helps you minimize your gear, so to speak. It doesn't add much height to the container. You can take a whole container of shave soap with you, and then you have a lathering bowl built right in. Now, I've used this 3 times, again, as I say, and it's generated some really, really wonderful lathers. Now, the vents, the raised vents, have some little channels in there. That helps to retain water a little bit. And it generates a lot of lather. I really, really was very, very surprised. And it didn't seem to overflow much at all. Although, you know, I think even in the best of shaving bowls, you're going to get some overflow. But it didn't seem to overflow a lot for me. It really just created a lot of nice lather. So it was a nice change of pace to paint it on. Now, paint it on rather than doing a face lather. Now, in my first use, I was scooping the soap out and placing in the lather lid. And I was telling this to Douglas, and he said, no, it's really not designed to scoop soap out. What you want to do is you want to do a brush load from your puck. You want to wet your brush, you want to wet the puck, and you want to do a brush load. Then after you load the brush, what you want to do is then you want to, use that lather lid and build a lather in there that way. And my thinking was, if I scoop the shave soap out, then the soap puck remains dry, and I can go ahead and lather in the lather lid, and then after I'm done shaving, clean the brush, clean the lid, okay, and then I can just then go ahead and put it back on, and there's no trapped water in there. That was kind of my thinking. And Douglas said, well, yeah, you could use that. But here's what he does. And again, this is part of the deep dive. Here's what he does. What he does is he will wet the brush. He'll wet the puck. He'll do a really nice full brush load. Then he'll go ahead and build his lather in the lather lid. Okay, he'll have his shave, and he won't rinse his shaving brush. He'll just set his shaving brush on the counter, ready for the next day's shave. Okay, that way the puck is drying out. Okay, all he does is rehydrate the brush, then use the lather lid again to create a lather in here again, paint it on. Okay, and then he's got a second shave. Clean the brush, clean the lid, especially if he's going to be checking out of a hotel room or something like that. Puck is dry, put the lather lid on, and you're good to go. That is a really neat approach. I like that a lot. But again, this is such a new item that I think there's probably going to be a lot of wet shavers out there who are going to be using this. They're going to be talking about it, and they're going to be sharing some tips and tricks and techniques that they've stumbled on to really maximize the use of this and really get the most out of it. And it's such a new item that I think that you're going to have those kinds of discussions. Oh, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. Here, this really worked well for me. That sort of thing. So I've used it both ways. I've scooped soap out and I've done a brush load and built a lather that way. Either way, it works wonderfully well. Now, the other thing that Douglas mentioned to me, which I thought was just kind of mind-blowing, scooping soap out of a container and putting it into a lather bowl or putting it into a scuttle is a relatively new technique. Traditionally, it's always been wet puck, wet brush, brush load, then taking that loaded brush and moving it over to a scuttle and building a lather that way, scuttle or shaving bowl. I never knew that. I thought, that scooping the soap out was something that was done for years and years and years, and Douglas is informing me, no, that's a recent phenomenon. Traditionally, it's been wet the puck, wet the brush, and then load your brush that way. He also mentioned that, a hairdryer comes in handy too if you want to dry out your puck rapidly. You can just, dry it out that way too. That's another really useful tip as well while you're on the road. But I think I'm going to try that. I think I'm going to try using the lather lid, doing a really, really good brush load, building a lather, having my shave, painting it on, having my shave, then cleaning out the lather lid and leaving soap on the brush for the next day's shave. and then rehydrating it, getting my lather lid, and then building another lather in there. And again, like I say, by then, the shave soap will be dry. Yeah, that really is a neat approach. So my thanks to Douglas Smythe for that really helpful technique and shaving tip. Really, really do appreciate that, Douglas. Thank you very, very much. And again, I'm going to be reviewing the lather lid here, putting a review together. I like it a lot. I really do like this a lot. Generates a lot of lather. It really does a great job. And again, you got these raised vents here with little channels in there, and those little channels hold a little bit of water also that kind of helps and aids in building a lather, that sort of thing. I'm using it like I would any other shaving bowl or scuttle. I'm putting some hot water in it, kind of let that hot water warm up a little bit, and putting a little bit of hot water on the puck, warming, rinse, putting some water on my brush, dumping out, loading my brush, building a lather, painting it on. Wonderful shave. Yeah, so it's really, really a neat item, and it's at a nice price point. So I just want to share some of that deep diving that I was involved in with in a discussion with Douglas Smythe. Want to thank him again for all that information. Really, really neat. Another intriguing aspect about the traditional wet shave is all this great history that comes along with it. You learn something new by looking at the past and seeing how things were done that way. And yeah, it's a new discovery of how they did things in yesteryear. So yeah, I'm just really, really excited to try this brush technique, to use the lather lid again, to use the brush scuttle and do a brush load on my shaving scuttle here, because again, if you saw the review, I was scooping out and putting it in the bowl. Of course, we talked about coins and scooping out shave soap. I guess you could do it. Whatever you're comfortable with is the way to do it. But it's nice that we have all these different options and different techniques, is what I'm saying. So that's it. My thanks again to Douglas Smythe. Really enjoyed that deep dive into lather lid, building a lather, loading a brush, scooping out, that sort of thing. That was absolutely great. Thanks again, Douglas. Really, really do appreciate it. Okay, this comes from viewer Paul Desjardins. This is really, really neat. He writes, Mark, here's something you may find interesting. My grandfather was the personal bodyguard for Edward VIII when he visited Canada in the 30s. As a gift, he presented my grandfather with this personally monogrammed gold Gillette Traveler. It's never been used. My dad passed away last month, and now it's mine. Well, my condolences and sympathy to the family, Paul. Sorry to hear of your loss, but how wonderful it is and how special it is that your father passed this on to you. A wonderful memory of your grandfather and your father. Wow, that is really neat. And to have that historical significance attached to it, you can see that it is monogrammed to his father, to his grandfather, Manny. And wow, that is absolutely wonderful. Now, I asked him if I could use this, the Monday morning mailbag, and he said, sure, please feel free to use. He also sent along an additional photo, and he says, my grandfather's the tall guy behind Edward VIII. Wow. Amazing history connected to that razor we had just talked about, these connections to these vintage razors. You have like the ultimate connection. It's connected to your grandfather, it's connected to your father, and it's connected to Edward VIII. And I say with the royal family. My goodness, that really is an amazing connection with a vintage razor. I don't think I've seen anything like it. When I saw those photos and read your email, absolutely, I wanted to share this in Monday Morning Mailbag. So, Paul, thank you very, very much for sharing that with the Monday Morning Mailbag and all the viewers. Really, that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so very, very much. Well, okay, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out the Executive Shaving Company. Use the code MARK5. Check out my blog, georgetown.com/blog. For my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this, I'm on Facebook. Check out my Facebook page. Check out Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements for some great shaving gear. Check out VikingsBlade.com for some great shaving gear. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Mark080, where you'll find all the products I review in this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.